Alright, so this is gonna be the movie review. This one's called Detective, 1985. This is gonna be another Godard flick. I hate this movie. I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars. Although there is a comely French lady with hairy armpits. I could say Histories du Cinema had some weird, like, girl peeing on a guy's face and, some dog, having sex with a woman from behind. There were a lot of shock scenes like that in the last disc that I watched that I didn't mention in my previous video. And this one has supposedly 18-year-old French gal with hairy armpits. Although she doesn't get naked, she just wears like a tank top thing, negligee type deal. Um, there is some nudity in this, though, I must say, and yeah, pretty lame. I mean, it's filmed almost entirely at this hotel, and it's just a bunch of French people talking to each other. There's this old Sicilian mafia guy who's just wandering around. He doesn't really scare anybody or look scary or anything like a mafia person should. The boxer doesn't look like a genuine boxer, and everybody's chain smoking, cheating on each other, and owing each other money. It's like there's no story. There's no plot. The story consists of, oh, you owe me money, but you also owe the other person money. So I guess I'm not going to get my money. That's pretty much sums up the movie. And there's some kind of detective guy who's like 50, and he's hitting on his nephew's 18-year-old girlfriend with the hairy armpits. Uh, he's supposed to be investigating a crime from 2 years ago. Some dude named Prince got murdered at the hotel, and he was fired as the detective. So he's back trying to find out who done it. And don't ask me how he found the killer, but I guess by reading a bunch of stupid books, and suddenly came to him in an epiphany or something. I don't know. This movie was hard to follow, and very boring, inane dialogue, similar to Histories du Cinema type of language going on, and maybe it makes sense to some French pseudo intellectuals, but to me, it's just a bunch of gobbledygook, and I don't know. Maybe I'm not very advanced when it comes to artsy stuff like this, but I'm just throwing it out there, giving my 2 cents worth nothing after inflation, and I'm pretty tired. Um, I'm getting about 4 hours of sleep tonight, but I got my laundry done. Gonna be working some overtime on Saturday, so that'll be good because I had to pay $750 for my tires, and I didn't think I was going to get through Detective tonight. It's only Thursday night, and I've already gotten through one movie. I'm watching Two in the Wave. It's about the Truffaut and Godard, the two new wave directors from France. Truffaut was 1959 with the 400 Blows. That movie was all right. Um, then Godard came later on, 1963. So I'm watching that. Um, it's not that great, but it's not really terrible. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I just couldn't get into this movie. I mean, like I said, even though the last three discs has some perverse stuff in it, uh, like the peeing and the bestiality and the gal with the hairy armpits in this one. Um, I just couldn't get into these discs. I mean, Godard is my least favorite director, and I know I'm biased against him. And I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, like I do with Two in the Wave, which he doesn't direct, by the way. It's more like a documentary, but I don't know. I guess the only movie that I really liked of his was a short, couple of shorts. I think one was called Antoine and Colette. That might be the one where his favorite chain smoking Frenchy dude was like tapping his girlfriend, his friend on the shoulder here, and then she turns her neck real quick, and then he kisses her. I wanted to try that trick on my former coworker Symphony, but I never got the chance, and she probably would have slapped me anyway, knowing her. But anyways, um, so I got into this kind of weird situation where my boss asked me to come in works Saturday at my desk job, and I already scheduled a grocery delivery on Saturday. So so I called out at my grocery delivery job, and wasn't planning on using any paid time off because I was trying to save it for my vacation with my son during the latter part of Christmas week. But that didn't work. I learned that it was against company policy to do that, even though I had done it a bunch of times earlier this year. Um, there's new delivery manager is kind of a pain in the arse, but anyways. So I went back and requested paid time off. I got about 22 hours left, which isn't much, but I don't know how many of these call outs I'm going to do with the overtime and the crazy work schedule at the cable construction company. Last year they didn't give me any overtime. Their pay rate was like $5 an hour less, and all of a sudden the company changed. Now they're like training employees as they come on board and give me decent pay overtime. It's like it was like the other cable construction company when I first started. They're giving me overtime too, so pretty cool. I'm stoked about that. I mean, even though I won't have any PTO left at the end of the year, probably, um, I could use some money this month. I mean, I just paid for those tires. Kind of broke. I'm trying to get back to normal next week, so that I can save a little bit. Maybe get my son some Robux and refill his inhaler, which is asthma inhaler, which I've been wanting to do for a few months, and then get my GNC Pro membership renewed next week when they have their triple points going on. So little bit of a tight squeeze money wise today, but get paid tomorrow. Um, Hopefully, I'll be back to normal, like around $1,000. But I got this rent check that I don't know what I'm supposed to do with because she said I had to leave on the 5th, but she hasn't given me unlawful detainer. I'm talking about my landlord. So yeah, I'm just watching these Godard flicks. The Two in the Wave is kind of interesting. I mean, like I said, it's not a great flick, but it's not a terrible flick. So I'm only about 10 minutes in, but at least it doesn't have that annoying. I don't know why Godard does this on the last three discs, but they have like some classical music that just comes on for no reason whatsoever. And then after about 5 seconds, it shuts off and dead silence, just dialogue. I don't understand why he does that. It's so annoying. It's like maybe if he did it with noise or some kind of enjoy enjoyable music, it would sound better. But it just annoys the heck out of me. I don't know why. This movie just drives me nuts. I mean, the ending doesn't make sense, and it's all about people talking to each other throughout the whole movie. There's like no action going on. They're holding guns with like deer in headlights kind of look on their faces. Even the mafia guys look like they don't know how to handle guns, or they're just holding a gun like it's some kind of toy. And I don't know, it's weird. This movie is just not realistic. No plot, um, no action, and even the gal with the hairy armpits could save this movie. I'm sorry to say. Uh, I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I was thinking about giving it 2 stars, but I just couldn't bring myself. It was just too boring, and the subtitles are like flashing on the screen super fast. They're talking really fast in French, and the subtitles can't keep up, so I had to keep rewinding it and stuff like that. So what normally would have been hour and a half movie turned out to be more like 2 hours because I had to keep rewinding and stuff. And another thing I disliked about this movie, um, can I say anything good about it? Not really. Um, Maybe 1.5 stars at best. In that sense, it's better than Histories Do Cinema, but that's not saying much. And that's the end of my review. Laters.